So, from the moment we heard about the All In Music and Arts Festival coming to the Indiana State Fairgrounds Labor Day weekend, we were blown away by the lineup. But then we saw this other thing that they've got planned. We said, what are these? Dreamsets? Tom Petty, the Allman Brothers? What goes on here? Well, in short, they're tribute sets, but there's a lot more to it conceptually. And I have Paul Peck from the All In Festival here to help us out. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Matt. How are you today?
I am wonderful, but I am very curious about these dream sets. So we got some more details on the Allman Brothers dream set last week, and this week we're rolling out the details on the Tom Petty dream set. What else do we know?
Well, these shows are going to be the signature tradition of this festival. People come to events like this to have a transcendent experience, and that's really what these dream sets are about. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime show. And it really crystallizes the idea of what I think people come to a festival for, which is moments of surprise, delight, excitement, inspiration to reimagine amazing songs and amazing music.
I mean, we saw from the Allman Brothers dream set rollout last week. We knew Dwayne Betts and Jojo Herman were involved, but I also saw Samantha Fish is involved, some of the other artists on the bill. So how, I guess, do you get these artists who are already planning one thing, they're set for the show, to then jump on this, one-off, essentially, this Allman Brothers dream set, this Tom Petty dream set? What kind of clout do you have to throw that into the negotiation, I guess?
You know what? It's like all of these artists love to do something special. And this isn't your everyday show. A lot of these artists, like Chuck Leavell, who's leading the Allman Brothers, Chuck Leavell is the music director for the Allman Brothers Dream Set, along with Dwayne Betts. He just got back from a massive tour with the Rolling Stones. This is, a super group of people that all are in that situation. They play with a certain group of people in a very comfortable way every night of the year. But on this special night, they're coming together to do something entirely different. World-class artists are doing something that's fun and inspiring, but they're doing it without a net. And nobody knows where it's going to go or where it's going to take us and exactly what's going to happen. The audience doesn't know, the producers don't know, and the artists don't know. And the beauty of it is that we all find out together at the exact same time. And it's that magical moment of reveal. And I did these shows at Bonnaroo, and I did these shows at Okeechobee. We would have Elton John and Kanye West at Bonnaroo. These super jams that I would do out there were the highlight of the festival every year. There were multiple years where at the end of the even year, New York Times would say our super jam was the top concert of the year in the country. Every single year, Rolling Stones top 10 concerts at Bonnaroo, the super jam was always number one. And when you get all these amazing artists together and you're creating something that's only going to exist in that moment, you have a real shot to create the magic, and the only people that are going to understand it are the people that were there with us.
So let's get specific then on what to expect. We got the Allman Brothers detail rollout last week. So could you go over that with us? Who's going to come on? What are we going to hear from them?
I'd be happy to. So yeah, Chuck Leavell, who was in the Allman Brothers in the 70s and is currently the de facto band leader for the Rolling Stones, is the co-musical director with Dwayne Betts, who's a phenomenal singer, guitar player, songwriter.
Latter-day Allman Brothers.
Of course. And, his dad wrote some of the best songs of all time, Blue Sky and Rain Man. And, these are songs that some of us haven't ever gotten to hear live. The opportunity to be able to hear them by a supergroup played live, it's a special thing. We're just so fortunate. And then we have Jojo, Herman, and Sonny Ortiz from Widespread Panic.
Wow.
Jojo is one of the best piano players in the world, and Sonny is just a phenomenal percussionist. And it was just so important to us that we actually constructed the rhythm section of this band with two drummers and a percussionist, just like the Allman Brothers had. And so we have these two phenomenal drummers, one Rod Morgenstein, who was in the Dixie Dregs, but came up in the Allman Brothers Capricorn tradition, but a phenomenal player. And then Jerry Hansen, who was Chuck Leavell's handpicked drummer, studio ace, has played with everybody from Eric Clapton to, I'm not going to list his resume because I would inevitably not do it justice. And then we have Barry Oakley Jr., whose dad was a founding member of the Allman Brothers, phenomenal singer and phenomenal bass player. And then we have Johnny Stachela, who's one of the best young guitar aces in the world. And then we have all these incredible special guests that we never would have expected would be doing Allman Brothers songs. People like Steve Morse, who was the lead guitar player for Deep Purple, and Bill Nershi from String Cheese Incident, and of course Samantha Fish, who were just, she's also going to do a set on the festival. But the thing about these shows is we are like got a bunch of people that are on the festival that are participating, a lot of people that are coming in specifically just to do this because they're that excited about the idea. It's like stepping out of the real world and into a place of magic and discovery. That is what All In Festival is about.
We're talking with Paul Peck from the All In Music and Arts Festival, and we're going through the Dreamsets. So we just got some details on the Allman Brothers Dreamset. Now the fresh news is the Tom Petty Dreamset, and this kind of just came out yesterday. So fill us in on who's going to be involved there.
Absolutely. So we're super fortunate to have the incredible young rock band Dawes, just an unbelievably authentic group of artists. And they're these consummate collaborators. They have collaborated with all these amazing artists, and they're like, not that I'm comparing them musically, but the band was, Bob Dylan's backing bands and maybe the best backing band you could have. They're that kind of group. And then we also have John Oates from Hall & Oates, who I've been lucky enough to work with on several of these super jams throughout my career. Yeah, I did a big super jam with John Oates at a festival that I started in Florida called Okeechobee, and it was John Oates with Miguel, the pop singer, and Win Butler from Arcade Fire, and then Skrillex was a part of it, and Mumford and Sons came out and did like a 10-minute version of Rock the Casbah. That's the kind of surprises that I want people to expect, because like we're talking about, this is like a new fresh announcement. Like the real fresh announcement is going to be the one that people can't believe when the day after the show happened, when people are buzzing and talking about actually like what happened. Because with these shows, we try to set very high expectations and then blow those expectations out of the water with something unimaginable. So, Oates is just like a phenomenal guitar player, singer, but he's also like a great like harmony arranger. And he's just an awesome person too. And he brings the right kind of vibe to these shows. And these shows are challenging. So you want people that are like genuinely stoked to be there. And so he's going to stay around another day after Hall & Oates plays, and he wants to hang at the festival, but really focused on being a part of this special event. And then we're also super fortunate that Rick from the band Goose is coming out and going to be a part of this. Rick is the lead guitar player, the lead singer of the band Goose, and they are kind of setting the world on fire a little bit right now. And then also Jenny Lewis, the legendary, she's a modern rock artist, but she's had an astounding career, is going to be a part of it. I don't know who else. We have Ivan Neville, who was in Keith Richards' band, The Expensive Winos, and he's the band leader for Dumpsta Funk, which is going to be playing the festival. And they're just about the best soul funk R&B band in the world. Like the vocals, just the drum, all the instrumentation. Like he's a phenomenal organ player. So there's just going to be so much texture to these songs, and we're going to produce them and create them in a way that's respectful to the original version, but it's going to push them a little bit further.
I think.
And then we're going to bring these special guests too. So. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Special guests like.
Well, that's the secret. We can't. That's a little bit like the secret magic that happens on the show.
Sure.
And some of it I don't even know yet what's going to happen, but we have big special guests that are going to come out for both of these shows, and it's going to take it into entirely new directions.
So
find out together.
The question on my mind, and maybe you just answered it, or maybe you alluded to the fact that there won't be an answer to this question just yet, but I see Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs among the lineup. We're talking about a Tom Petty Dreamset. Could something be happening there?
I mean, it would be incredible to include Mike. He's one of the best guitar players in the world. I think if we are lucky enough to be in that situation, it's definitely something that I wouldn't miss for anything in the world.
All right, so that's what. So that we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Paul Peck from the All In Music and Arts Festival laying out the details on the Dreamsets, the Allman Brothers Dreamset, the Tom Petty Dreamset. These will be happening, as I understand it, just before the headliners on these two nights, Labor Day weekend at the Fairgrounds.
The Allman Brothers one is going to be on our main stage after Hall & Oates, closing the festival.
Oh, okay.
Night. So it's going to be the artist that's going to close the main stage of All In the first night in the festival's history. The Tom Petty Dreamset is going to be on Sunday after Lucinda Williams, directly before John Fogerty on the grand stage. So that's a little bit of context of, it's like when you look at the schedule and you think about the days that we're going to have out there, it's just like one amazing thing after another, and you can just kind of imagine a little bit the experience that we're going to have out there. But
yeah. More than 24 artists over 2 days. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to do it. It sounds great. And thank you, Paul Peck, for filling us in. Paul Peck from the All In Music and Arts Festival. Can't wait, man.
I appreciate it, man. Have a great day. Hope to meet you in person at the festival.
Absolutely. I'd love to. Later on.
Cool.
Bye-bye.